subscribe and click the bell icon to turn on notifications.
Hello everyone and welcome to this video tutorial on audio and video calls in Microsoft Teams. Now, Microsoft Teams offers many impressive and valuable video conferencing features. You can host 1080p calls with up to 250 members, which includes the ability to share screens and also record calls amongst many other things. You can also meet or collaborate on the go using Microsoft Teams apps for smartphones and tablets. Now, particularly recently, where there's a lot of people working from home, the ability to be able to make video calls and host meetings in applications like Microsoft Teams has become essential. It's also particularly useful if you have a lot of remote teams in your organization that work from various different office locations around the world. So using Teams, employees can easily meet virtually, discuss, brainstorm, and work on documents in real time. So what I'm going to do in this particular tutorial is just really focus in on the video and calling aspect so that you understand how everything works if you're new to Teams. Now, I'm logged into Teams and I've set up a team called Project X Planning Committee. And underneath that team currently, I have two channels, and the one that I'm chatting to other team members in at the moment is the Q1 Planning 2020 channel. And I'm currently in here having a bit of a conversation with both Ben Smith and Adam Lacey. Now, when it comes to maybe starting an audio or a video call, there are a couple of different ways that you can approach this. You can start ad hoc meetings on the fly, or you can schedule meetings. So it might be that I'm in this conversation thread, I'm speaking backwards and forwards to both Ben and Adam, and maybe we decide that whatever it is that we're discussing might be easier if we actually jump onto an audio or a video call. So this would kind of fall under the ad hoc meeting category. So let's take a look at how we can start a meeting from within a channel. Now, once again, there are a couple of different ways that I can do this. What I might want to say is if I click on New Conversation, so I might say something like, hey guys, shall we jump on a call? And send that through to everyone. And I can see that Ben's replied, yeah, sure. You can see the notification come up in the bottom right-hand corner. And now you can see that Adam has also replied. So what I could do at this point is if I look at my icons running underneath, I have a little camera icon just here, or video camera icon, that says Meet Now when I hover over it. You'll also see up in the top right-hand corner of the screen, I have a Meet button. And if I click the drop down, I also have Meet Now up here. So I could select either of these to quickly jump into an audio or a video call. So let's click on Meet Now. So the first screen you get to when you click on Meet Now will show your meeting name in the title bar, and then we have some options we can customize before we actually join our meeting. So currently I have video toggled on and also my microphone. So essentially I'm doing both a video and an audio call here. So it's simple to switch between them. If you just want to do an audio call, you can just toggle off your camera and you'll just show like that, toggle it back on, and your video will start again. It shows me my device settings, so I'm currently working with a microphone, an external microphone, so make sure you have the correct things selected here, and if you don't, you can just quickly click on the cog, jump into device settings, and then make sure that you have everything here set correctly. Now, something you also might notice is that I have a blurred background. So this is one of the newer features in Teams. You can choose to blur out your background, which hides a multitude of sins if you haven't had time to tidy up and you need to jump into a meeting with your colleagues. Or you can select some other kind of background, and I'm going to show you how you can do that when we get into the meeting. So once you're happy with all of your settings, if you just click on Join Now, that's going to take you straight in to your meeting. And I'm going to maximize my window to make me a little bit bigger. So currently I'm the only one in this meeting. You can see in the participants pane, it's got my name at the top. I'm the organizer. And then it has some suggestions underneath of people I might want to add. Now, because I started this meeting from a team channel, all of the members of that channel, so that's two other members, Ben and Adam in my case, are going to get a notification in their team saying that this meeting has started, and they're going to get the option to join that meeting. So let's wait for both Ben and Adam to join. And there we go. So now both Ben and Adam have joined this meeting. And they're both a little bit camera shy, so I can just see their pictures as opposed to their faces. I also see that they've both kindly put themselves on mute, and you can see that in the participants pane. They have the microphone icon with a diagonal strike-through line through it, which means that they are currently muted. Now, a couple of important points to note when people start to join your meeting. If we look just above, we have a whole host of different icons that we can utilize. I'm going to take you into more actions first of all, and just down to meeting options, because there's a couple of things in here which relate to when people first join your meeting. So currently, who can bypass the lobby? I've got people in my organization. So when you're the host of a meeting, you could set this so that people are held in a lobby or a waiting area until you as the organizer join and let people in. Now this option lets people bypass that process. So currently, anybody in my organization can bypass the lobby. But I do have some other options in here. So if I did want to hold everybody in the lobby until I joined, I would set this to only me. So make sure you have that set up correctly for what you want to do. I also have an option to always let callers bypass the lobby, which I currently have turned off. Now here I also have the setting turned on, announce when callers join or leave. So if you want some kind of audio indication when a new person joins the meeting, then make sure you have that setting toggled on. I will say that if you have a very large meeting, so if you've got 50, 100 people on your meeting, having an audio noise when people start joining close to the meeting start time can get a little bit irritating. So maybe try that one out and see how you go. And if you find that you don't like it so much, come in here and turn that off. I can then choose who can present. So I can share my screen and present information to the other participants on this call, but I can also choose who can present. So currently I have everyone, but I could change that setting as well. So if I kind of want to lock it down so that only I can present, then I'd select only me in this drop-down menu. And then finally at the bottom, I've got the allow attendees to unmute, and I have that turned on. So this really depends on how much control you as the host want to have in your meeting. If you don't want people to be able to turn on their mics whenever they like and start talking, then you might want to turn this option off so that you have control over who can speak in that meeting. So again, that option is quite good if you're doing a presentation to a large amount of people and you want to have a bit of control over who can speak and when. And click on Save to save any changes that you've made to these meeting options. Now currently you'll see that even though I'm speaking and I'm the presenter, I'm very small in this window. So if you essentially want to spotlight yourself or any other participants in this call, all you need to do is hover over their name in the participants panel, click on the three dots, and you have an option to spotlight me. And what that does is it highlights that particular person so that they take up the entire screen and you can see them speaking. So if I was to spotlight, let's spotlight Ben, you can see that he now takes up the entire screen. So Spotlight allows you to switch between different people. Now in this case, I'm going to stop spotlighting to bring both people back. Now another thing that you have when you click on the three dots, if I hover over Adam's name and click on more options, I can choose to remove this person from the meeting. So if someone's being a little bit disruptive, you can remove them from the meeting if you are the host. Now remember, at any point when you're in your meeting, you can choose to turn off your video if you want to. Again, using our icons running across the top, I can choose to turn my camera off, which is going to get rid of me. Click again. And you can see that there is also a keyboard shortcut for that, Control-Shift-O. Now, as I mentioned as we came into the meeting, I've blurred my background. So this is particularly useful if you're working from home and you don't really want people to see what you have behind you. Now, this is a fairly new addition to Teams, and you've probably seen people playing around with this a lot on social media and LinkedIn. You'll find this option again under this More Actions drop-down, and it's Apply Background Effects. So currently I have blur set, but I could choose any one of these particular backgrounds. So let's choose something like this and click on Apply. And you can see my background has now changed. What you also have in here is the ability to apply your own background. So if you have a particular image or picture that you'd like to use, if you click on the Add New button, it's going to allow you to browse for a local file. So I'm going to select this one just here. Click on Open. And what you'll see is that it adds it to the bottom of the gallery. It's selected, so I just need to click on Apply to change my background. So highly customizable, you can choose whatever you like. Now let's jump back into Show Participants again, because I want to demonstrate the raise hand icon. Again, another fairly new feature in Microsoft Teams. It's this one just here. So this is what we call non-verbal communication. It allows people to communicate to you in a limited way without disturbing the call. So if you have a meeting where everybody's microphones are muted, if they need to get your attention or maybe they want to ask you a question, they can utilize the raise your hand icon. So you can see there Ben has raised his hand, so I might decide to unmute Ben's mic, let him ask his question, and then mute him again. And of course, once you've dealt with the query, you want to go in and click on the three dots and select lower hand, just to clear those hands away. Let's move across now and take a look at the chat panel. So for this, we need to jump into Show Conversation. And this pretty much works the same as chat works in any application. You have your meeting chat pane open on the right-hand side, and then anybody who's in this meeting can start typing messages to each other. And you'll see that as people start typing messages, I'm getting notifications come up in the bottom right-hand corner. And there we go, Adam's dived into that conversation as well. Now underneath where it says type a new message, you do have some more options when it comes to things you can add to the messages that you're sending through chat. So the first icon here is the format pane. So if you want to apply a little bit of formatting to your messages, this is where you can come. You can also choose to set a delivery option for your message. So if this is a particularly important message and you want it to catch people's attention, then you can set a status of important or urgent. Of course, you can attach files to chat as well, so you can upload them from your computer. So that might be something like a Word document or an Excel spreadsheet, or maybe even a PowerPoint presentation. You can have some fun by adding emojis. So you have your usual standard emojis that you would expect to see in there. We also have GIFs, so a selection of GIFs, and at the moment they're very Halloween themed. And then we also have stickers in here as well. So quite a few useful options when it comes to chatting to participants in your meeting. Now, a couple of other helpful options. If we go back to more actions at the top here, something that's really useful can be to turn on live captions. So this is great if you have people in your organization who are hearing impaired, as you get a bar running across the bottom that types out everything that the speaker is saying. And I think this is a really cool little option. And if you want to turn these off, you simply go back up to more actions and then just select turn off live captions. And of course, also in this more actions button, we have the ability to record our meetings. Now, I'm not going to start recording, but it is a fairly straightforward process. If we click on start recording, you'll just see a timer appear at the top of your Teams window. Then when the meeting finishes, the recording will be posted in the channel where you started the meeting. And sometimes this can take a few minutes depending on how long the meeting was, essentially how big that file size is. So I always say go grab a coffee, come back, and then you should find that your recording is posted in your channel. Now, the final thing I'm going to go through with you when it comes to audio and video calls in Teams is sharing your screen. So this is something you'll probably find yourself wanting to do fairly frequently. Teams is a collaboration tool, and quite often we need to collaborate on documents. So again, up on our icon bar right on the end, we have a Share Content button. Keyboard shortcut Control-Shift-E. So if I want to share some content with both Adam and Ben, you'll see I get a few different options. I can choose to share my entire desktop, or I can share a specific window. And it's showing me here all of the different windows that I have open. And you can see I've got quite a lot open on my PC at the moment. So I could select a specific application to share. Now what that means is it's only going to share that application with everybody in this meeting. So if I choose to share one of these Word documents, if I then jump across to an Excel document, it's still going to show my Word document because I've only chosen to share that Word document. If you think you're going to be jumping around between different applications, you're better off sharing your desktop. Now, this does come with a bit of a word of warning. It does share everything that's occurring on your desktop. So if you're getting notifications or pop-up messages, or maybe you've got some personal things on your PC that you don't want others to see, just bear that in mind when you're selecting which option is going to be best to share. You'll also see here I have a heading called PowerPoint, and I don't have any files underneath there. Now you might be wondering why, because if I scroll through my windows that I have open, I do in fact have some PowerPoint presentations open. So why are they not showing in here? Well, this works slightly differently. What I can do is I can essentially browse and upload a PowerPoint presentation into Teams. Now, why is that different to just sharing the PowerPoint window? Well, maybe your presentation is very large, maybe it contains images, maybe it contains video files that you want to stream. There's less chance of the meeting participants experiencing any lag or jumpiness or blurriness in the videos in the PowerPoint presentation if you upload the file into Teams first. Sometimes if you just select the window and try to run videos, the quality can be quite poor depending on how strong your internet connection is. So just again, bear that in mind. So I'm actually going to share a window with both Adam and Ben. I'm going to share this Word document here, which is a blog post about 10 advanced Excel formulas. So let's click on the window. And I am now currently sharing. So everybody in this meeting can see exactly what I'm doing on this screen. Now, if I push my mouse all the way to the top, you can see I have a couple of different options. This is where I would come if I want to stop presenting and just go back to Teams, but I can also pass control. So if I click the drop down, I can pass control of the mouse and keyboard over to Ben Smith. So maybe I'm demonstrating something in this particular document. Maybe Ben says he knows a better way to do it. I might say to him, okay then, take control and show me what you mean. So to do that, I would pass across mouse and keyboard to Ben. And then of course, once he's finished, he can pass control back to me. And what you'll also find is that the other participants in your meeting will have a request control button up here. So if they want to take over control of the mouse and keyboard, they can request that they do that from you just by clicking on that button. Now I'm going to click on Stop Presenting just to come out of here. It takes me back to the main Teams window. So those are the main options that you have when you're doing a video or an audio call in Teams. And of course, if you want to stop this meeting and come out of it, you have the leave button at the top, keyboard shortcut Control-Shift-B. You can choose to leave or just end the meeting. So I'm going to say end meeting. I'm going to say I want to end it for everybody. And then I get to give some feedback about the call quality. So I'm going to say it was great. And there we go. And now what you'll see is in the channel where I started this meeting, it tells me that the meeting has ended and it was 28 minutes, 55 seconds long. And this is where you'll find the recording will appear if you did record the entire meeting. So that's how you start an audio and video call from a channel. Remember, you can also start audio and video calls from private chat conversations. So if I click on chat in the left-hand menu, you can see here I'm having a private conversation with Ben. If I decide that I want to start an audio or video call with him, in the top right-hand corner, I have buttons that are going to enable me to do that. And it pretty much works the same way. I can say video call. And now we're in a meeting and we get all of those same options running across the top. So very straightforward and simple. So that is ad hoc meetings. Now you could also schedule a meeting in advance. Again, very straightforward to do. If you jump up to the Meet button in the top right-hand corner, click the drop down, you can schedule a meeting instead. So I might want to add a title here. I can add in my attendees. So we're going to invite Ben and Adam again. I can type in the details of my meeting. I can then click on send and it's going to send that invite out to them. So this meeting is now showing in the channel, so we can just click on this to join the meeting when it comes time. It's also posted in your calendar within Teams. So if I click on calendar in the left-hand menu, you can see it sitting there and all I need to do is click the join button to jump into that meeting. So that is it. That is how you make video and audio calls in Teams. I hope you found that useful and I will see you next time.
If you're not a subscriber, click down below to subscribe so you get notified about similar videos we upload. To get 4 free courses in Excel, QuickBooks, Microsoft Project, and Photoshop, click over there. And click over there to see more videos from Simon Says It.